Hello and welcome to the course Wildlife Conservation and Management, WMGT 1323. A little bit about my background. I am a professor of environmental science and technology here at Austin Community College. I am also the chair of the Earth and Environmental Sciences Department, which is actually three departments: the Department of Geology, the Department of Environmental Science and Technology, and the Department of Wildlife Conservation and Management. My academic background is I have a PhD in environmental health, occupational health, and toxicology from the University of Nebraska Medical Center. I have a Master's of Environmental Studies from Baylor University with a graduate minor in biology. And I have a double majored in political science and French, also from Baylor University. In addition to my teaching responsibilities, I'm also a field biologist, specifically a tropical field biologist. This is me in Peru recently, standing in front of a wimba tree, which is a very large buttress tree. And we'll learn a little bit more about buttress trees and tropical conservation and tropical biodiversity as we go through this course. For this course, learning objectives are going to include learning how to define and provide examples of biodiversity, being able to explain the importance of biodiversity, being able to demonstrate how we measure biodiversity, and being able to describe threats to biodiversity. The last two objectives, while we do talk about them in this class, we spend more time on those objectives in other classes. And those include explain how to manage and maintain biodiversity, and to define and explain the impact that humans have on the environment and in biodiversity. There are two books that we'll use in this course. The first one, Fundamentals of Conservation Biology by Malcolm L. Hunter Jr., James P. Gibbs, and Viral D. Popescu. This is the book that we will use for most of the testing and for most of the readings that we're going to have in this course. So it is a required book, and it should be available at the bookstore. The second one is Texans on the Brink by Brian R. Chapman and William Ludersmith. This one is not used as extensively in the course, and we typically only use it for some of the projects that we use. I do highly recommend it though, and it is a very good book to have in your library, especially if you are planning to measure in wildlife management. There are a couple of web resources that I recommend students get familiar with and learn how to navigate. One of these is going to be the web page for the Texas Department of Parks and Wildlife. On their web page, you'll find information about hunting, fishing, boating, game wardens, and other important resources as far as conserving wildlife in Texas. The main page we're going to be on, or the main tab, is going to be the Wildlife tab. Within that tab, you're going to see things about endangered species, threatened species, how they're classified, and how they're regulated and managed in the state of Texas. Another web resource includes the IUCN Red List of Threatened and Endangered Species. IUCN stands for the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. Their Red List is the world's most comprehensive information source on the extinction risk of animals, fungi, and plants. So we will be using this also in this course, and so it would be helpful if students at least learn to navigate this particular web page also. Hopefully most students are familiar with Blackboard. Blackboard is the learning platform that we will use for this course. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, there are some online tutorials, and you can contact the ACC Blackboard group for additional resources and help. In Blackboard, you'll notice that there is a tab called Course Announcements. It's important that you check your course announcements at least once a week. I do post information there that's important for students, such as when a new test is made available, when course assignments are coming due, and so it's important that you check that frequently. You can also find the course syllabus, the course materials, course schedule, and course grading requirements in Blackboard. And so it is important that you learn how to navigate Blackboard. One other thing I want to mention is that there is no extra credit for this course. So it's important that each student do their best on each test and each assignment, because at the end of the course, there is no extra credit to improve your grade. Now for course grading. There are 3 exams in this course, each worth 100 points. There are also 6 assignments in this course, each worth 40 points. Note that I drop your lowest scored assignment so that by the end of the course, you'll actually have 5 assignments that count towards the final grade. Course grading is traditional. So your A is 90 to 100, your B is 80 to 89, your C is 70 to 79, and so forth. As I mentioned in the last slide, there are 3 exams worth 100 points each. The exam format includes 25 questions that cover the requisite materials. Exams are all taken online in Blackboard. The way it works is that exams are made available by Friday afternoon and will close the following Sunday at midnight. Tests are timed, and so each student will have to finish the exam in 40 minutes unless you're given an extension by the SAS office. If you miss an exam, you've just missed an exam. There are no makeup exams in this course. If you have a valid excuse, you're not penalized for missing the exam, but you must have a valid excuse, and it must be documented. Your final grade is based upon the 2 exams that you take rather than 3. A minimum of 2 exams is necessary to pass this class. I will not open an exam once the due date has passed. The same applies to assignments. Once the due date has passed, you are not able to submit a late assignment. Here's some tips for how to do well in this course. First, make sure you read the materials. If you do not read, you will not learn. Do not try to Google your way through this course. In the past, I've had students who tried to look up all the answers on Google, but they usually wind up answering the question incorrectly or providing material that wasn't even in the question to begin with. So read the materials. That way you answer the questions the way they're supposed to be answered. Watch the videos. I assign them because I hope they're helpful to you. Complete the assignments and tests on time. A number of students get in trouble because they just don't know when the tests are due, or they don't know when the assignments are due, and they miss the deadlines. So make sure that you look and see when those deadlines are and when the tests are going to open. There is no extra credit for this course. I just want to reiterate that one more time.